And keep asking the question, who coordinates this? What does the symbolism imply? Why is this person seen with that person? It's a study, and it has to be taken seriously. Earlier we talked about the Profumo affair. As we said, it actually reminded me of Inspector Abelin's case with the Cleveland Street homosexual scene down there. Well, the Profumo case, you can look it up, it involved a British ring of elite pedophiles and homosexuals. This case is reminiscent, as I said, of the Profumo case, which involved the KGB spies, high-class prostitutes, orgies, and ritual murder. But why I bring it up is, and here he is, by the way, John Profumo. You know, you can read about it. He was a high-level government official, really high brass, working for the state and foreign office, who all of these guys were sleeping with this prostitution ring, but then they were going and leaking the information to the KGB, but actually it involved a lot more than that. And never let us forget, too, that half the elites in MI6 and MI5 were homosexual. This has been proven, and were communist spies. Let's not forget, you know, Kim Philby and Burgess McLean, and even the... Do you know that Anthony Blunt, the art expert to the Queen of England, was exposed back in the 1970s as a Russian agent? Now, the main prostitute that they all knew was this lady, Christine Keeler. And this was known as the Cliveden set, right? She was part of this Cliveden set during the Profumo era. And she knew such elites as Lord Astor, okay? And the controversy went around her. Now, Cliveden is actually an estate. Remember we talked about the importance of estates where this ritual stuff happens, elite estates? Cliveden is one of these estates. On the right you'll see the movie Scandal with John Hurt that exposes this particular period. There it is, in Buckinghamshire is the elite area of Lord Astor. And Christine Keeler, after their orgies and stuff like that, or whatever she was doing, she'd walk around in the grounds, and she swore blind when it all came out that there was gigantic pentagrams out there in the forest, where huge rituals that even she hadn't been part of had been going on the grounds of these places. Which again, in turn, as I said, reminds us of the other similar cases where you have the Hellfire Club doing exactly the same thing in the fields or the forest of Wycombe Woods in England. In fact, they were not called the Hellfire Club in their own day. They didn't use that term. They were called the Order of the Friars of St. Francis of Wycombe, with the estate, with the nearby woods, and near the caves underground. And again, we find that one of the members, Duke Wharton, very high-level elite royal figure, Duke Wharton, was himself a devout Jacobite or Templar. Catholic as we'd know them today, but in those days, Jacobite Templar. The Templar tie-in is very important. These groups are just satellite to those groups. And Sir Francis Dashwood, as we talked about earlier, who's the founder of it, he owned this Menhem Abbey on the Thames. The order was later known as the Phoenix Society. They changed their name to the Phoenix Society, and that's why you'll see the phoenix as a symbol on many places. All part of one big invisible college that stretches throughout the world. We've talked about it in the Atlantis book at great length. One of the members of this order, Benjamin Franklin. Not only was he a member of that, he was a member of Grand Orient Freemasonry, Nine Sisters Lodge. Very, very powerful elite. And his initiator into Freemasonry, I believe, was an Englishman. The Irish branch of the Hellfire Club, they were spread all over Britain and Europe, was known to be particularly perverse. And that brings up this character who's been exposed by my colleague Jim Cairns, Earl Ross, known on paper as a great astronomer and what have you. He's actually from the Parsons family. And that may mean, we haven't looked enough into it, he may be then related to John Whiteside Parsons, the American occultist who helped design the Pentagon, and who also was connected to CIT, the creation of the California Institute of Technology. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that one. But there may be a family tie-in there. But this Earl of Ross, actually, his estate is Burr Castle, which has come up time and time again as a child abduction location. We'll pause in a minute for a bit of a breather. Just want to finish this one little section here. But look it up, find out who these elites are and what they've been up to, because this particular domain has come up time and time again as being a nexus, very much like the Castle of the Mothers of Darkness in Belgium, if you followed that. Again, go to my forum, we've got the links. Underground caves, underground ducts. These are not in Yonkers, these are ones in a place called Laurel Canyon, which is another hugely ritualistic site in California, in Los Angeles, Laurel Canyon, which again features underground caves, derelict places, forest, and lo and behold, elite estates. This estate is loaded with pagan symbols. So just again, bear these pointers in mind.